Good afternoon, all. Welcome back to Daz TV. Remember, like, comment, share this video. Delighted today to be joined by Dave Dave from Dave's LFC Chats. Dave is doing regular, consistent content, loads of subscribers, loads of videos, loads of different guests on all the time. Dave, how are you, bro? How's things, mate?
I'm nervous. I'm in anticipation for the fucking huge game tomorrow, Daz. I mean, it is huge. Point between us, City, Liverpool, Klopp, Pep, whatever way you want to call it, Citizens, Reds, whatever. It's huge. But I think it'll be a toss of a coin. We'll talk about it, lineups, whatever you want to do. But a little bit nervous because it's such a big. It's like a cup final nearly tomorrow.
One of the biggest, probably ever, Premier League games. There is a cup final vibe to it. This is probably, if not the biggest of all time, one of the biggest, isn't it? Premier League games. It's so big, so much on the line. Do you think, Dave, like the question all week is, there's 7 games left after this for both teams. Do you think this is winner takes all? I mean, if City win it, 4.7 games to go on paper, you'd say they've probably easier games playing against teams that have less to play for. If we win it, we're only 2 ahead. It's not a lot. We've 7 to go, tough games. United, Everton in there, we're all laughing at the moment because United are actually losing to Everton.
That's the Banter Cup final. That's the Banter Cup finals. Everton are winning at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. We're going to add in Drifty here now. So do you think, Dave, how are you, Drifty? How's things, brother? I think he's on mute there. He'll come in now. He hasn't got the video on today. He was saying, I'm all good, Drifty. Do you think, Dave, so we'll go on to Drifty now. Dave, do you think it is going to be winner takes all tomorrow, or what way do you see it fared now? Because there's 7 games for each team to go tomorrow. A lot of points still to play for.
It's a huge game, but it's a must-not-lose game tomorrow. I think if we lose 4.7 games to go, as you said, Dave, a slightly easier run-in. So...
Yeah, you know, on paper,
I think if Liverpool lose it, we're in a bit of trouble, to be fair. A draw, it's go again. You know what I mean? I still think we have a great chance, even if it's a draw. If we win, it's only 2 points, but it still gives us that little leeway. It even allows a draw because then it comes back to being goal difference. We have slightly better goal difference at the moment. So it's a must-not-lose game tomorrow. That's what I would say about it. I don't think we can afford to lose it. A draw wouldn't be the end of the result, but don't get me wrong. I want to win the fucking game. I want to win it. I'm saying 2-1 all week. I want to win it, but it's not going to be easy. We don't have a great record there.
I seen coming into tomorrow's game, so since the start of January, we played Chelsea. It was a 2-2 draw. Since then, we were just absolutely relentless. We played 21 games in all competitions. We've only conceded 9 goals. 9 goals in 21 games in all competitions, and we've scored 44. So that will tell you how resolute, how solid, how compact, composed we've been defensively throughout the team, but also how good we've been at going forward. And there's a lot of games I watched where we could have and should have had more goals in it. City, I'm not sure what their stats are going into. I know in the last 5 we've won all 5. We've scored 13, haven't conceded the goal. They've conceded 4, scored 9, won 3, drew 1, lost 1. So obviously we're the informed team at the moment, probably the most informed team in the world at the moment. Drifty, how are you, mate? How's things, brother?
Yeah, not too bad, boys. So got
great to get you on.
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you lot doing?
All good, bro. All good. You're just smashing the content on Coppish.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that. Hard work never stops, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough at the top, Drifty. You're doing great stuff, though. I've seen some of your shows. There's so many you have on. I tuned into one last night, was on. It was very good. I seen one you had Alex from the Cop TV on yesterday or the day before, and Steve as well. That was a very good one. Look, I'm sure everyone that subscribes into this and anyway or leaves comments are all obviously subscribed to Dave's channel and to Coppish, which you're on. But thoughts on tomorrow's game, Drifty? Is this winner takes all? What way do you see it going? What's your thoughts on tomorrow's big game?
No, I agree with Dave. I actually I think if we win, then there's still a long way to go. I think if they win, it's over. I look at the fixtures and I think they've got a way easier running than we have. I think Man United and Everton, who are both playing at the moment, people will look at it and they'll think, Everton aren't playing well, Man United aren't playing well. Yeah, but to Liverpool, those are emotional derbies. And in derbies, anything can happen. It's not really about the opposition when it gets to the emotion of those type of games. Not to mention the fact that Everton are fighting for their lives, and that could give them the extra incentive. So for me personally, and then Tottenham, God knows how good Tottenham are going to be by the time we play them. They're getting better every week. And remember, it doesn't even have to be a loss. A draw is a loss right now.
Exactly.
Drop 2 points, Man United, Man City will be level on points with us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and then it'll be a straight shootout, even just for like goal difference. So, for me, I think if they win, it's over. They won't lose, or they won't drop points in 2 games out of the last 7. Not when you see who they've got left. I think West Ham, who are probably going to be exhausted from the Europa League stuff anyway, are the only team capable of taking any points off them. And it'll probably only be a draw if they did. It wouldn't be a loss. So, yeah, I think the only way we can win the league is if we beat them. I really do. Even a draw would leave me very and orange. You know what I mean? I think we have to have the comfort of a draw. I think if we win, I think a draw would mean it will still go to goal difference. But obviously, you know, if we can have the goal difference up, we'll be level, and that would be the only cushion that would be maybe favourable, that would be allowed 1 draw in them last 7 games.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm looking at City's fixtures. They've Leeds, they've Brighton, Watford, Newcastle, West Ham. Villa might be a tricky one for them the last game of the season. Obviously, look, there's this talk there's going to be, isn't there, a Coutinho, Gerrard and stuff like that. But I wouldn't read too much into that because that's a long way to go. That's near the end. That's another 6 weeks away. But a lot
Villa's
of football
on the beach, bro. Villa are on the beach, man. They're done for the season. Gerrard's looking at new players in the summer and then go again. Do you know what I mean? I think they're on the beach right now.
I agree. I do. I don't think come that time they'll have anything to play for. They'll look they're well safe. They're not going to be sucked into anything. They're not going to get Europe. As you said, they're looking towards the future build. And now it's about who can impress Gerrard, who's going to be there next season, what changing things up for next season and looking ahead to pre-season already, I'm sure. Because I'm sure Gerrard will look at this job long-term as much as in the now. Dave, we're talking about tomorrow. It is a must. Is it a must-win game for Liverpool? Really? Then, if we draw, say tomorrow, it changes nothing other than there's less games to go. There's 7 left for each team. On paper, we've, as Drifty said there, United, Everton, big emotional games. Even Wolves' last game of the season at home might be tricky. There's a lot of tricky games now. And Spurs, to me now, stands out like it's going to be a really tricky one. That's the 7th of May at Anfield. Huge game. We've very good record against Spurs, very good record against them at home. But lads, we're having some season like this. I can't remember ever. I think up to recent, there was a stat since 1983 we haven't been this far in all competitions. I think that season we won the double. I think come this stage in April we're even ahead of that now. So we're having a dream season. Everton are struggling, possibly go down. United are struggling, all the finances that went in there. Chelsea, since the whole Abramovich thing, they're gone in my eyes in terms of competing with Liverpool and City. Everything is. We've touched gold with everything this season. It's just been fantastic. Every good buzzword you can use would describe Liverpool this season. And the quadruple is obviously a realistic aim now. But Dave, it must win tomorrow.
No, as I said, I know Drifty might disagree, but I think it's a must not lose. I'm not saying it's a must win. It's a must not lose. We lose, we're gone. I think we lose, we're gone. I think, Drifty's correct in that. 4 points, they have a slightly easier run in. I think it would be very hard to come back with a loss. Plus, psychologically as well, what it would do to you. I think just Liverpool's got to do their job. We win all our games, we win the league. It's as simple as that. If we start talking about connotations and games we have to play, if we just take it game by game, which I'm sure Klopp will, that's the way he works, game by game. So he's just looking at tomorrow. And if we put a good team out tomorrow, we'll talk about what team we're going to pick. But if we do our job and win that game tomorrow, it puts us in a really, really good place. But don't get me wrong, it's not going to be easy. I mean, they don't lose many games at home, and we certainly don't win that many at the Etihad. You know what I mean? If we had a brilliant record up to a few years ago before Klopp came. We had a great record there, but it's changed since Pep has come. But I just think it's a must not lose. I really think we still have a chance with a draw. I really do. I still think there's a little turn in the road. There's a little fork in the road with those games. I wouldn't take any of those games City have lightly either because they're all potential cup finals as well. You know what I mean? I think it's a must not lose.
don't they? Really, with the semis, the Champions League.
Yeah.
They've still a lot of. They have a huge game against Atletico away as well on Wednesday night. That's a tougher game for them than it is for us at home to Benfica. Obviously,
we played them in the semi in the FA Cup, and people forget City are going for a treble here. City are still have a possibility of a treble. We have a possibility of a quadruple. I mean, it's unprecedented, unbelievable. I've followed Liverpool since mid-'80s, and even in the 80s, it was, as you just said, 83. Like, this just doesn't happen. You better enjoy this because it probably won't happen next year or for another 20 years. I mean, no matter how good Liverpool are, it's very rare to be in the starting of April and be still involved in all and be far ahead in all four competition. It's just ridiculous. The points total between the two teams. It's unreal.
The good thing is, Dave, like, we're not. The thing with us and City is, a lot of this argument's come up a couple of times. We're not playing great in a lot of games, but it's all about result, and especially at the latter stage of the season, from March onwards, no one cares about performances. It's about what availability you have and the results of games, and we're just incredible at getting that result. Where City against Everton, very lucky to win 1-0, should have been a penalty. Palace away, ran out of ideas, creativity. They were very frustrated and couldn't break them down. United, obviously, they were a lot better against, but everyone seems to beat United and score against them. But Liverpool, they've more ways than one of winning games. They probably have more ways than City at winning games. And the fact that we were 14 points behind not so long ago to now 1, that in itself deserves huge credit, doesn't it?
Is that me, Darren?
Yeah, sorry, Dave.
Yeah, listen. I seen the stat the other day, as I say, the points in the last 4 years, since 17-18, since Pep and Klopp have been there fighting against each other. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It's different level. Both teams have pushed each other, has to be said. With City, if City weren't there, we might have won 1 or 2 more leagues and stuff like that. But the points totals from both teams is just gone it's gone into the stratosphere. And I'm sure we've pushed City as well, because they know they can't rest on their laurels. I mean, they probably even knew in January, even though they were 14 points, 12 points ahead at one stage. Geez, this Liverpool team, we got to be careful here. The league isn't won, you know what I mean? Because look who's behind us, Liverpool. We know there's a love in between Klopp and Pep. I don't know how real it is. It could be just a papers thing or a TV thing. I heard on Twitter saying, get a room. But I mean, like, it's just dreamland. I'm living the dream at the moment, but I'm just hoping. I think it's important we get at least 1 trophy out of the last 3. It really is important. Whether we win the quadruple or not, I don't know. But we got to get 1 trophy. I think to come to this far and this level, to come away with just a League Cup, I think would be a bit of a disappointment. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's very important. And tomorrow's the start of that. Tomorrow is the start, I think.
Thanks, Dave. Appreciate your input there. Aled, I know you don't have a lot of time. I'll get you in there, bro. A bit of cloudy sky there at the back of you. Hopefully, tomorrow it's going to be all golden for Liverpool. What are your thoughts on tomorrow's game, Aled? Huge game.
Oh, yeah, massive game tomorrow. Now, big up to Daz, big up to Dave as well, and big up to Drifty as well. To be fair, massive game. Pleasure coming back on the channel, but massive. I actually think it's decisive, but that being said, I look at it from another side and another viewpoint, and I go along with, Dave. The Premier League at this moment in time is so strong that no game is a given 3 points. So at the end of the day, it's like Liverpool, we might win tomorrow, but it's not guaranteed that we win our remaining 7 games. So I look at it more from a psychological point of view. What's it do for Liverpool in terms of getting that advantage over City? And I think that will be key. That will definitely give Liverpool the boost going forward. But I think it's obviously a must not lose, I think, for us. And I think a draw would still be a suitable result. That being said, you're coming up against one of the arguably if not the best team in one of the Premier League era. So we have to respect the opposition off the field, but on the field, I'm sure Liverpool will pull no punches. And I hope that it can live up to the hype beforehand and be such an exciting game as it's proved to be over the last few years. So, looking
absolutely,
forward to it.
Great point to lead too. Drifty, Liverpool of late, I think last 5, we've scored 13, haven't conceded the goal. All really important games. For us not to concede a goal in it, it's unbelievable. We go into tomorrow with a fantastic record, defensive record. City in the last 5 conceded 4, scored 9. So they haven't scored as many. They've conceded more than us in the last couple of games. We have to go in tomorrow and look at again in this game, to be ruthless and be cutthroat and try and give her everything as well. But to try and keep this defensive record going, because Matip and Van Dijk at the back they've been awesome. Probably the two best centre-backs in world football at the moment. What do you make, Drifty, of this defence and going into tomorrow against City? Because we don't have a great record at City. We haven't won there since 2015 or 16 when Firmino got a couple of goals. We blitzed them. But, well, I know we beat them in the Champions League once since then, but in the league it hasn't been great.
Yeah, I don't read too much into stuff like that when it comes to these type of games, because I know the opposition we've played haven't been on the same level. So you're right, we've been really good at the back, but when we watch the game, as you guys will know, you don't just watch the stats, you watch the game as well. And when you watch the game, we give up a lot of chances. And the problem that I've got is they will finish those chances that we give up. Do you know what I mean? And I've always said that's what worries me a little bit about the way we are defensively. I know the risk is high risk, high reward. But when you're playing against a team who've got the players who can punish you, we might get punished. So I'm worried this is a type of game where they've got the clinical type players that, De Bruyne and Foden and those type of players, they get one of those opportunities that we like to give away and they'll probably score it, as they did. Because if you remember back to the Anfield game, they did, even though they controlled the possession for large portions, they didn't really create many opportunities. But as soon as they got one, they were clinical with it. And I think that's what worries me about this game, especially with them being at home. They're very good at home. And we're not good at the Etihad. And again, records are there to be broken. But like you said, I think it's going on 6-7 years that we haven't won there in the league. And I'm just a little bit worried that the way we play defensively, we're going to give them a lot of opportunities. And they're one of the only teams in world football that will just continue to punish you if you give them multiple opportunities. So let's just make sure that we stay as tight as we can. You know what I mean? And I just want to. I think what's more important in this game than defending, if I'm being honest with you, bro, is that we're clinical ourselves and we don't come away thinking, we've missed 3 or 4 great opportunities there, like we have been a lot recently. Jota, Salah. Yeah. Recently, they've been very wasteful. Even though we're scoring goals, we've still been very wasteful. And the only way we beat City at the Etihad is if we kill their confidence while we're also playing well. So if we get a snap opportunity, that's to go in the back of the net. It can't be a close one. It can't be a near miss. It has to go in the back of the net. Give them some doubt. Because if there's anything we need to do right now is we need to mess with their mental. We need to let them think we've been chasing you down. You got this close. And now we're in your backyard and we're not having it. That is how we have to be. We start getting a bit timid in front of goal and missing the odd opportunity. They're just going to grow in confidence. You know what I mean? And we know what happens when they grow in confidence. So, yeah, I think being clinical in front of goal is probably going to be just as important, if not more, than how well we defend, because we got to take. I bet we'll probably only have about 3 or 4 chances in the game. We have to make sure we take all of them.
I agree, Drifty. We can't give Silva, Sterling, Mahrez, De Bruyne, Gundogan, whoever they play midfield tomorrow, any of these creative flair players that have a great eye for goal. We've seen the last time at Anfield, you said, back at the start of the season, we drew 2-2. They controlled the game for large periods, particularly the first half. Mane gets a goal second half, and then, we're 2-1 up, and then it's 2-2 in the end. And we're probably kicking ourselves a bit because we bet our chances. They hadn't got many. We didn't give them many clear chances, and it was disappointing in the end, but I suppose probably a fair result because of how bad we started the game. But tomorrow, you're right, from the off, we got to go at this, got to make a statement, got to show them why we are where we are, and got to show them how far we've come. And last season, we'd all the excuses of injuries and COVID and no fans. And look, it was all legitimate excuses. It wasn't just we were saying that because we were poor. But this season, no excuses. As I said there, since the turn of the year, 21 games, 44 goals, only 9 conceded. And 2 of those were 2 against Chelsea at Stamford Bridge. But since that game, we've been unbelievable all round. But you're right, we gave chances away and weaker opposition haven't been able to. We've got lucky as well. But you do need luck in them. Shout out to everybody there in the comments. Rudsy, Gas, Chef is thrown in there. Good morning, lads from down under. He's in Australia. For me, 3-1 Liverpool. Diaz 2 goals and Trent with a cracker. Watch our predictions. We will get to that, Gas, and let you know shortly. Rudsy, I'm predicting we will go in guns blazing, force mistake early and catch them out with an early goal. Then they will crumble. Hopefully, we just beat them. Afternoon, boys, says Kev O'Sullivan, the LFC Day Trippers, 19.5 clean sheets. The beauty of playing City is they'll give us space behind to play into. Yes, and they'll come out attacking, which does suit us. Rudsy, morning, Gaz. That's the Gazi shouting in there. And hey, Daz, Dave, Jersey boy. Big out, shout out, Jersey boy. Been a while since I've been chatting to him. We'll go in there to Kev O'Sullivan's point, Dave. 19.5 clean sheets, unbelievable. The beauty of playing City is they will give us space behind to play into. I think you agree, yeah?
Yeah, I actually agree with what Drifty just said there a few minutes ago about being clinical. I think we do, our XG, we do get a lot of chances. We've got to be clinical tomorrow. They will be clinical, especially at home. I'm sure they will. We've got to match them with being as clinical as them. We've got to be as clinical as them. I think it all depends on what front three he picks. I really do. I have an idea what I want, but what Klopp picks on the day, we just don't know. But I just think, look, I'm hoping it's not a damn squib, a 0-0 or a horrible game or a VAR decision or a terrible refereeing decision, and the game is decided on regrets. I don't want any regrets coming out of this game. If City play better and beat us with a good goal and stuff, well, hands up. But I don't want to come out of it saying we were absolutely shite, or we didn't play, or we missed openers, or we chances. I don't want any regrets out of the game. I don't mind playing well and losing, or the other team playing better than you and beating you, on the day. That's okay. Hands up. I mean, City are a top-class team. Absolutely. We know how good they are. But I don't want, the biggest thing for me is being clinical, as Drifty said, tomorrow is huge for Liverpool. We do give a few chances away, even though, as Kev says there, 19 first half clean sheets. I mean, that's ridiculous in itself. Can it be number 20 tomorrow, first half clean sheet?
For number 20 as well. For number
20 to come home.
That's a good way of looking at it. And look, Salah's going to have to be on form tomorrow. Lately, he hasn't been clinical, cutthroat. He hasn't even had good performances. But look, I suppose he can get away with 28 goals this season, but we need him to show up tomorrow. But we need him because he's been suspect in the past, not just this season, of having big chances in big games and missing them. But then you go down the other end. There was a game, wasn't there, in Austria a couple of years ago in the Champions League where he took it around. Was it against Salzburg? He couldn't score in that game and then scored an impossible goal. And that's just the type of player he is. Drifty, you with Salah lately, I don't know if you have an agenda or whatever, but what do you make not being the best of form? Hasn't scored in the last, I don't think he scored an open play since I've seen something in February, I think.
The Mo one is a difficult one because I'm looking at it from the human point of view, and I understand why he's playing the way he's playing. He's been exceptional all season. He's exhausted mentally and physically. And I think a lot of people aren't taking into consideration the emotional side of representing your country as proudly as he does and having 2 disappointments in the space of about 5 weeks. Major disappointments. The type of disappointments that you'll look back when your career's over and still be upset about. I think if you go and talk to like the 96 boys of the England team, and they'll tell you they're still hurting now from that Germany loss in the semi-final. That's how much these international games matter to people who love playing for their country. So you think about what he's been through in the last 5 or 6 weeks or whatever it's been for his international, and I think it's been an unnecessary distraction, but you got to understand it. So the way he's playing right now, I believe is more emotionally than physically. But on top of that, he played, I think we totaled up 5 or 6 night extra times he's played this year. So he's played every game, and then on top of that, he's played all of because remember we went to extra time as well for the cup final. So the man is just playing minutes after minutes after minutes. He's mentally and he's physically exhausted. And I think we've asked too much of him this season, if I'm being honest with you. And I think this dip in form is just human. He's not an alien. You know what I mean? Like, he's just a human being. So we just got to be patient. We got to hope he can get over it. And we've just got to hope that we can give him some joy to help him to slightly get over it. They say time's a healer. So hopefully as every week goes by, he'll slowly get a little bit more comfortable with the idea of the disappointment of Egypt, and he'll start to get amongst the goals again. Do you know what I mean? I have faith he will, but we just got to be patient. I know it sounds hard and it's frustrating and it's easier said than done, because if he misses a sitter tomorrow, we're all going to be angry about it. But you know, I try and take my emotion out of it when I'm not in the heat of battle. Tomorrow it'll be harder, innit? I'm going to be watching the game. If he misses a sitter, I'm going to be livid with him. But when I'm not in the emotion of it, I try and be as reasonable as I can. And you know what I mean? He's an absolute G, and we just got to be patient.
Yeah, he's world class and he deserves a lot more. And hopefully this season we can give him more in terms of trophies. And he's also going to be one of the main contenders for Ballon d'Or, because last season, where he finished to some of the rest that got ahead of him was a scam, really. It was outrageous.
Contract situation in there as well. I mean,
that's another thing, Dave.
Thinking about in the background, it's a big decision. It's a life decision. It's a family decision. You know, he's a lot on his plate. He's a lot on his plate.
He has, yeah. No, that's spot on and well said, Drifty. And are you doing a watch along tomorrow, Drifty?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Okay, so we'll tune in and see our reaction if Mo does score or doesn't. Yeah.
If I'm this nervous now, God knows what I'm going to be like tomorrow. Honestly, even though I live for these games, don't get me wrong. Like Dave said, like we really have to soak this up. This is unprecedented, fantastic times. Like I don't think it's ever been this good. As a Liverpool fan in my lifetime anyway, but at the same time I can't handle these nerves. Like I genuinely can't. Like it's too much. Like, and yeah, I think I might do a Zidane. And you remember when he was sick before he took that penalty in the World Cup? Yeah.
I'm gonna hide underneath the bed for the whole bleeding game. Wake me up after the game.
Let me know the results and I'll watch the highlights. Led, sorry, I'm just mindful you haven't got in there much. I know you were out and about there, Led. You've probably have a lot of time to drop in. Tomorrow, who are you going with up front, Led? And Kev O'Sullivan throws in there. I'd worry about Salah if he wasn't getting chances, which I suppose is correct as well. He starts for me. Jota is on 20 goals for the season. Him in the 9, Bobby 10, Diaz, Sadio wide left. So either Diaz or Sadio wide left. I think he's going with whoever. It's a toss of a coin, really, who you throw in there, particularly after Diaz's late goal against Benfica. And Fabinho and Thiago holding. Bobby sit on Rodri to stop him dictating play, because obviously Firmino, unbelievable with ball retention, getting back, doing all the good work. I thought he was brilliant last week against Watford. Your thoughts on it, Aled?
Yeah, Bobby has to play for me. When I watched him play against Watford, when you just isolate Firmino, the work that he does off the ball often goes under the radar. But I'd start Firmino in between the lines. I think in a game like Manchester City, Pep highlighted it in his press conference. Liverpool plays so much in between the lines, and it's quite hard to cope with. So I think Firmino offers that change, which allows you to obviously create knit transitional play and to develop that throughout the game. But I think I would start Diaz on the left, Salah on the right, Bobby up the middle. For me, I think Salah. I think although he's dropped off, I think I agree wholeheartedly with all your points. I think he's also almost playing from an emotional point of view. And I think as well with Mo Salah, because he started the season off so good, it's almost like he set the bar at a standard in which people are almost relying on him to replicate that and maintain that over a sustained period of time. And it's very hard. We know in the Premier League, the strength and the integrity that the Premier League holds. For a player to score that many goals, contribute so much, is very difficult. But if it is one man to do it in this day and age, it is Mo Salah. So I think there is a lot of expectation on him. But I think if people look at it from an emotional point of view, then I think people can really sympathise and really put reasons to why his performances have slightly dipped. But that being said, Mo Salah, he's a man for the big occasion. That's why I'd have him on the right. Diaz as well, I think he offers that diversity, and I think he just gives the team a big boost. He just gives that team a much bigger boost since he's come in as well. When you've looked at, as you mentioned...
You go for Diaz over Mane tomorrow?
I would.
Yeah.
And to be fair, it's the front three, any front three that starts, to be fair, I would just sit back and think that front three can win the game. There's no problem about that. There's not one person that front five of which you can pick from, those 5 star players that you pick them and you go, oh, that weakens our team. That City may have an advantage there because we can almost bring players on, and it's a brilliant headache to have from Jurgen Klopp's perspective. So I just hope that he goes with that front three or any of the front threes. But now, to be fair, I think Firmino will be crucial. I'm going Diaz and Jota to come off the bench and score an important goal towards the end. He's always seemed to get us big goals, so Diaz and Jota for me will get on the score sheet.
Brilliant. Yeah, no, I can't disagree with you. We've 5 unbelievable riches in abundance up front to pick from, and any of those 3. Kev Sullivan throws in a point there, front 4. The last time we went to City, Jota was in form with Bobby, Mane, Salah all in form, and it was hard to leave Jota out, so Klopp went with front 4. I don't think that'll happen this time. Do any of you think any different, Dave?
Oh, look, I think Klopp's, we know he's conservative. He rarely mixes it up too much on the big games, and this is a big game tomorrow. I think it's conservative. I think it's Salah, Bobby, the 3 amigos, and Mane. I think he goes and has the likes of Diaz and Jota. I'd love to see Diaz start. Obviously,
I'd love to as well.
But I think to have that power, that firepower, that creativity on the bloody bench last 2025, Diaz, Jota to come on. I mean, it's dreamland, front 5, as you say. You could start nearly any to 3 of them. I think Bobby's important. Bobby's a good record as well against City as well. You have to look at records and, the link-up play. And I think it'll be very important for us to hold on to the bloody ball. And Bobby will give us that holding onto the ball and link. That will be huge because you'd expect City to have slightly more possession than us. So I think that's why he might go really conservative. Same midfield conservative. I can nearly name you the full 11 straight away, almost, and say what he'll do. But I think he'll go Bobby, Salah, Mane, 3 amigos back.
Yeah. I can't disagree with that either. I think so. What's your starting 11, Dave, for tomorrow? Would you go for, and what you think Klopp will do? I know it's hard to predict.
Klopp, can you give me the 11 there? Go.
He's kind of confirmed now, yeah.
Alisson in goal. I mean, Matip comes straight in, back in for Kanate. Yeah. Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Trent. That's the back 5. I think it's conservative midfield. I think it's Thiago, Hendo, Fabinho. Thiago's never played against City, but we need a baller. We need someone in midfield to put their foot in the ball, pass the ball, hold on to the ball. So Thiago, Fab, Hendo, and the 3 amigos up front. Salah, Bobby, and Mane.
Yes, so well, look, I mean, as well as that, it's an experienced lineup there. It's a lineup that's got so many wins, plus, and it's reliable.
If the Calvary, if it's not working out on the bench, Diaz, Jota, Naby, whatever you want, beautiful.
Yeah, that's true as well. Yeah, no, that's good. Drifty, tomorrow, your starting 11, who you think we will go with and who you'd like to see. A tough one, I know, to get spot on, but we can only predict.
Yeah, I'm going with the same lineup as Dave. Apart from, I would play Mane down the middle and bring Diaz in, and I'd have Bobby and Jota on the bench. I think Bobby off the bench has been brilliant, and I think that's his role for us now. Not that he can't start games, but I think his role is to come on and change the game when they're being used to pace and power for an hour or for 70 minutes. Bring on Bobby to come in and find the half space. And then the defenders, they'll get confused. And we've seen it happen, happen against Arsenal. They were like, hold on a minute, what's going on here? Because all of a sudden you got a player you don't know who to mark, when for the whole game up to that point, you had a man to mark. And I think it confuses teams. So I think Bobby's new role for us can be coming on and changing games in the last 20 minutes, half an hour. And obviously with Jota being, so predatory, if we are really in need of a goal and need to start going a bit more direct and whatnot, then I think that he'll be good to bring on to pick out. But I think we should go with pace and power to start with and just keep running in behind and just constantly have them worried about what they do to us because they know what we can do to them. And kind of do that type of, if you want to push up the field, just know we're going to counter you at any moment. And I think it's really going under the radar. And I know you guys may know this already, because I'm the one who's Mane's biggest defender. But I think he's really going under the radar how many goals he scored since he moved into the central striking role. If I'm not mistaken, he's got 7 goals in 8 games playing as the number 9 or the false 9. I mean, if we bought Haaland and he came in and did that, we'd be like, see, this is what we did. We got a goal scorer now. He's literally doing the job that Bobby wasn't doing, which was putting the ball in the back of the net. So to be honest with you, I actually think that there's an argument he's a better number 9 for us than Jota is. Like, I genuinely do. But it's amazing we got them both. And that's what's so good about the Liverpool team. We don't have to worry anymore about whether one can turn up when we got 5, because they're all capable of scoring goals on their day. So yeah, I'd go Mane down the middle. And then even if Salah's not playing too well, you can even move Mane to the right, bring Salah off, and then put Jota down the middle or Bobby down the middle. So yeah, that's the team I'd go with. Thiago's going to be key, I'm hoping. I really am. We haven't beaten City for a little while, and as Dave said, he ain't played in any of them games. So I'm really hoping he can be the difference maker for this one.
Spot on, Drifty. Yeah, can't disagree with everything you're saying there. And these big games are won and lost in midfield, so midfield's going to be huge tomorrow. Would you think midfield tomorrow, Fabinho, Henderson, Thiago? I know you've just said it, but you think that has to be nailed on to start, does it, tomorrow?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't got a problem if Naby plays, though, which is the beauty. Again, we've got the options now. Do you know what I mean? So if Naby plays, I'm all for it. Like, as long as he plays as well as he has in his last couple of games, he's been brilliant. Then I haven't got an issue. But yeah, Thiago's got to play, though. If Naby, I know this might sound crazy, but if Naby plays, it has to be instead of Hendo. I don't think it can be instead of Thiago. Thiago has to be on the pitch tomorrow for me.
Yes.
Yeah, and Thiago's been sensation of late, but as you said, if you want to be City, he hasn't played against them in the last couple of games. Obviously, he hasn't been available, what have you, Thiago, but he needs to start tomorrow. Him and Fabinho on there. I think Fabinho's been terrific since that Shrewsbury game, the FA Cup. He's got a couple of goals, added goals to his game, dominating. I seen Jack Wilshere yesterday, a stupid tweet really, to think that Declan Rice was more pivotal than Fabinho. But not only that, he's not playing at the same level as Fabinho, not doing it consistently. Fabinho is just third in a row, probably one of the best midfielders. And we're very lucky to have him, I think, as good as we are, because he just brings everything to us. He's just evolving, getting better and better, Fabinho, and so confident and arrogant even on his penalties, like the penalties against Chelsea, the couple he took before that, and then the one last week. I mean, he's just giving her everything. He's probably a bit underrated, I would say, Fabinho. I don't think we're Liverpool fans value him and know how important he is, but for me, unbelievable. One of the best in the world, and probably the best in the world in that position as a whole of midfielder is Fabinho. Okay, tomorrow's game, lads. What are we? What? We'll just kind of go through. Sorry, one sec there. Kev throws in. How do we think City will line up? Yes, that's a good question. Something I probably wouldn't have brought up. And by the way, Mane's had 15 goals so far this season, 12 in the league, 3 in the Champions League. So it's been a really good season for Mane this season. I probably could have and should have had more as well. Who do we go with, Dave? Tomorrow, City's lineup.
I don't really care about what City
is. No, I agree, yeah.
I couldn't give a shit who they put out in the pitch. Look, we
they had Stones and Laporte, hadn't they, midweek?
Diaz is out
played left foot. Sorry?
Diaz is out.
Diaz is out, yeah.
I mean, that's a big loss for them. But to be fair, lads, they've done really well. I mean, as you say, they're still in the hunt for a treble. They don't have an out-and-out striker. And I mean, They really, they're unorthodox in that way. When you look at all the top teams in Europe, they usually have a striker there, and everybody plays off them. But obviously, KDB is their main man, no matter what way you look at it. I was watching the other night against Atletico. You knew he was the one who was going to score. He got a great goal against Atletico Madrid. So for me, look, they're at home. They're going to come with us. That suits us in a way, lads, because they won't sit back like some teams. They'll come at us, which will leave space and open up. And that usually we play better against teams that play football and play at us and, come at us. So it's going to be really important. But I think what's really important about tomorrow is that we score first. I think if City score with the home crowd and stuff, I just think that we make it even extra bloody tough, But I think it's important we get the goal, or even get it to half-time, at 0-0, because we usually play better second half. As you say, we don't let many goals in the first half, but we don't usually be leading. It's usually 0-0 or something like that. So I think I don't really care what City. My objective in everything what Liverpool do is the team is so good, the squad is so good, the management is so good. It's what Liverpool do. I don't care what anybody else does. If we do our A game, if we do our things right, if we pick the right team and we go at them in the right way and everybody does their bleeding job, I think we'll beat City tomorrow. The question is, will we bring our A game tomorrow, or will there be decisions? And we won't mention the guys on VAR and the referee tomorrow. We don't want those two involved in any stupid way that ruins the game. And what we're talking about after the game is a VAR decision or a refereeing decision that destroyed the bleeding game. And all of them, and even worse, City winning the game because they destroyed it. And basically losing the league over something stupid. As I said earlier, if City play well, score and win, hands up, fair play. You know what I mean? If it's fair and stuff like that, yes, listen, they're top side. There's a chance they could beat us tomorrow, lads. You know what I mean? We're at the end of the they're a point ahead. So for me, Liverpool need to bring their A game, get in the mode, get ready to rock. We're full of experience. We've got options on the bench now. We've no excuses tomorrow, I don't think, other than a decision going against us or some stupid decision, which is always a possibility when you've those two boys involved. But for me, we bring our A game. We play our game. I don't care what City do.
Guys, let me just ask you a question. Let me just ask you something that's just coming to my head, because this quadruple we're chasing, like Dave put it perfectly. They're on chasing the treble, and I think a lot of people are forgetting that because we're like blinkers on, only thinking of us. If they beat us tomorrow and the league goes, are we going to end this season with 2 or 3 trophies and be disappointed because one of them isn't the league? Because there's a possibility to be so deflated from not winning the one we want, we could end up with an unbelievable cup treble and still feel a bit down at the end of this season. How do you lot think we'll actually feel if we don't win the league, but we do win the other trophies?
Well, the league is bread and butter for me. I'm old school, Drifty and Daz. I'm a 70s boy. I'm old school. The league is number one. Plus, it gets us to 20. Those Manx, gets us to 20, shuts those idiots up, even though they should be shut up at the moment. We get beaten by Everton 1-0. They're absolutely shy. So, you know what I mean? But I want the league. But I think it would be disappointing if, there is a possibility, lads, we only win the League Cup. Let's be real. There is a possibility.
Yeah, there is.
There's a fairly decent possibility, and City are going for a treble. So I think tomorrow is really important just to keep it going. We do not dare lose tomorrow. Even a draw, as I say, it just keeps it rumbling on to the next game. You know what I mean? And there's possibilities, opens up all the possibilities. As Dua Lipa says, one kick is all it takes. Possibilities. One. So, you know what I mean?
That's true, Dave, yeah.
It's so important we do not lose tomorrow. If we win, it's my birthday Monday, I will be over the moon.
Lovely, Dave. We have to get a win for your birthday, an early present. There's nothing better than when it's your birthday, is it? But when you get an early present, and it's particularly when it comes to the emotion of a good birthday, like a big win for Liverpool, because we all love the emotion of football and obviously our connections to Liverpool. But you're spot on. Look, I think, Drifty, I said at the start of the season there was a bit of criticism from some of the fan base and from neutrals, whatever, and pundits when they done their preview of how the prediction, I should say, of how the season will go. And I said, if we win something this season, we have mount a serious title challenge, go forward in the quarterfinals of the Champions League, what we done last season, and do a lot better domestically in the cups and win one of them. I'd be delighted, because at this stage we'd only brought in Kanate, and we felt we were rumoured and linked with a lot of other players, and we were going to the season a little bit agitated and a little bit frustrated because of the whole thing with FSG. Super League was at the end of that, but we've been unbelievable, and I think either way, look, we can win everything or win nothing more. The moral of the story is just enjoy this journey, enjoy this roller coaster we're on. I think we do win something, and I think what Dave as well alluding to about the league, that why I'd be a little bit disappointed that we don't win the league, but it wouldn't be the be and end all of things, is that it's a good time now to be City in that backyard, win a league. The comeback story to that alone would be probably the greatest ever achievement from any team in the Premier League to win it, because of where we were to where we are now, the incomes, all of that, the signing City brought in, the richest they've had. But for us to win it with the fans back in the stadium would be huge. That last game of the season against Wolves at home, it was a warm-up to the one a few years ago, and then a couple of weeks later we Spurs in the Champions League final. We seen what could have happened if we'd won the league. City went to Brighton, won it. I think they won 4 or 5-1 that day. But when they went 1-0 down for a while and we were 1-0 up, it just shows. For me, I would love the league more than any of it this season. In another season, I would love a Champions League more because it puts you in higher regard. Champions of Europe or champions of England, for me, it's Europe all day long. And the appetite we have for the European and the pedigree we have. But that's why I would like the championship to win the Premier League this season. But I won't be too disappointed, as Dave said, if it's done fairly. City win it fair and square. There's not VAR. There's not controversial decisions. If we just lose it fair and square and then go out and win something else this season, I'll be delighted. But I do think possibly whoever wins this tomorrow will probably then not win the semi-finals, because these two teams are so good. I don't see Liverpool not winning that in between now and the end of the season, and I've been honest with you, I probably don't see City either not winning anything, because the two teams are so good, world class, and for me they're the two best sides in world football at the moment. What's your take on it, Drifty?
Yeah, I can't. City will win something this year, which is why I don't think we'll do the quadruple. There's no way a team that good don't win one of the trophies available. So I agree with you, and I also kind of agree that there's a possibility whoever wins this loses the semi-final, so it's like one apiece kind of thing. And to be honest with you, as much as a quadruple sounds absolutely amazing, I feel like I've let everybody drag me into this. I've never felt we're going to win a quadruple from the beginning, and you don't know what Callum's like. He's just drumming this into me. I'm like, bro, can you just stop going on about this bloody quadruple? You know what I mean? Like, I would, if you asked me, I would 100% sacrifice the FA Cup for a victory at the Etihad. If somebody said to me like one or the other, because I think winning the Champions League and or the Premier League is way more important than a dream that will probably never ever happen in the history of English football. It's never happened so far for a reason, because winning a quadruple is just ridiculously difficult. So the fact we've got a domestic trophy in the bag already, and we always wanted Klopp to get one of them, the FA Cup would be wonderful, but I only care about the FA Cup if we win tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? And then it'll be like, okay, so maybe we can beat them in both games. But you know what I mean? For now, I would swap a loss in the FA Cup game to win tomorrow and then try and go on and win the league. So yeah, the league is my bread and butter for me. The Champions League is amazing, don't get me wrong, but I've watched us win 2 Champions Leagues in my lifetime. I want to watch us win another Premier League now. Do you know what I mean? And make sure we shut up everyone who said, well, you've only won one. They keep moving the goalpost. They'll probably say it's only 2 if we win another one. You've only won 2. They're just going to keep moving the goalpost, but you know, long may it continue.
One more than Leicester and Blackburn is what you'll be told. So I know.
Yeah. That'll be the new one, isn't it? Yeah.
No, but I think so, lads. Look, we can win a quadruple, and if any team's going to win it, I honestly do think this Liverpool team. I know Kev chosen their belief, and I do believe we can win it. But I'm not going to think that far ahead. Tomorrow it starts, as Dave said earlier on this, tomorrow is where it all starts again. Go, try and get a win at City, and then we take it from there. And I'm not even thinking of the Uniteds, the Evertons ahead, the FA Cup semi-final. Tomorrow, we're kind of all living for it, aren't we, as fans at the moment? But we're also realistic, and we've all different views and opinions. And for me, I think both will rather win tomorrow than next week. If you ask secretly Klopp and Pep, that's what they give you. Dave, score predictions for tomorrow. I hate this, especially in a game of this magnitude, the caliber of it. But we'll go for it. What are you saying, and who scores?
I've been thinking of a draw all for the last, even since this game's come up, even a good 10 days, even though I never usually think 10 days ahead, but I knew this game is pivotal and this is a decider and all this type of thing. I think if we turn up, we pick the right team, we get a bit of luck. Every game you need a bit of luck. You need a bit of luck in every single, no matter how good you are, you need that bit of luck. We seem to be getting bits of luck here and there. And that's why I'm confident going into tomorrow. Because when the luck's with you, it usually stays with you until the end of the season. And that's another thing for me. So I'm going to go 2-1 Liverpool. I think Mo Salah will break his duck, his little duck, his where he hasn't scored. I think Mo will turn up tomorrow. And I think Diaz will probably, if he doesn't start, come off the bench and get either the winner or whatever way it works out, 2-1 to Liverpool. Yeah. But as I say, it's not the end of the world if we don't win. But it would be bad if we lose. Put it that way. I think we'd be in trouble if we lost the game. But 2-1 Reds, confident enough.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, I suppose if we do lose, we've the big game, European second leg, 1.5 foot maybe in the semis already against Benfica, who I'm sure we'll beat and get goals against on Wednesday. And again, the beauty of it is we don't need to win. It can be done on a Milan job where we can rest players. Isn't it, the most important thing for me over these two legs is you go through. I don't mind losing one of the legs once you get to the next round, and I use probably all agree as well. Like that Inter Milan, when we lost 1-0, I didn't have any thought of it'll have any impact on us. I was just happy we came through the game, able to rotate, no players, no fresh injuries, and then we moved on quickly, and then we did win just as quick. Drifty, tomorrow score prediction and goal scorers.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a 2-2. I've been calling it a 2-2 City win because I think if they don't lose to us, then they win the league. So I'm going to call it a 2-2 City win.
Okay.
But yeah, I feel like the game could be a draw. Score draw. It won't. There's no way it'll be a 0-0. So yeah, score draw. And unfortunately, I think we're going to be left a little bit frustrated that it's not in our hands anymore after the game.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Like earlier on the season was 2-2. Actually, Kev Trunnan there a while ago when I meant to read it out. Foden is one to watch. That day he was brilliant, wasn't he? He was immense. He got a goal. Milner should have been sent off, to be fair. If we're looking at it as a fair decision in that game when he fouls him, but I suppose we got a bit of luck on it. Kev throws in 2-0. Think our lads will be desperate for clean sheet. Sadio and Bobby. I'm going to go for Liverpool. A bit of a boring one. I do. Something's telling me we'll go there and keep a clean sheet and get a win and win 1-0. Not many will think 1-0. And then something's telling me, look, there'll be goals in it. This could be 3-3, 4-3. It could be mad with goals because both teams will go full throttle. But I just think with how composed, how compact we are lately, that defensive record, conceding 9 and 21 in all competitions, and we've rotated and made changes there with Gomez at times at right full, Tsimikas at left full, Kelleher in goal. Some games Van Dijk was out and we Kanate in. I just think we're so well organised and drilled at the back. 1-0 for me tomorrow. I hope I'll take a boarding game tomorrow once we win, but I'm not so sure whether it will be. You could be on the money, Drifty, with the 2-2, but I'm hoping we do win, and I know you do too. But yeah, probably
100%.
Being very honest.
I think Foden, Kev's on the money there. For me, Foden is the one that has me worried. I'll be honest. Like if I woke up in the morning. And because I would never ever wish injury on anybody, but if I woke up in the morning and Foden and De Bruyne, like I don't know, maybe both had a stomach bug or something, so they were going to be out for a week or something like that, and those two were missing, I'd actually believe we'd smoke City. Like I genuinely do. Like I think those two there make them so much better as a team when both of those two are playing. You take those two out, and I'd actually like be going into the game thinking, well, we're going to win this quite easily. But with them two in the game, all of a sudden, City are just a sensational side. So they're the two that scare the shit out of me, those two.
If they're missing tomorrow for whatever reason, hopefully with a stomach injury or bug, Rudsey's gone for 4-0. We catch them out early and they crumble, and Kev says he likes this. And I agree. I think we would be more of a realistic 4-0. But yeah, Foden, smashing player, going to be absolutely world class. He's already playing at a world class elite level, doing it consistently. He'd be the only one that can not go on and stay consistent. He'd be the only one to stop him. Looks like a new lad in there, John Wallace. Klopp statue incoming if we do quadruple. Hey boys, great content, lads. Keep it up, lad. Cheers, John. Appreciate that. Yes, lad. So we've more or less shared the same opinions and thoughts for the rest of the season. Quadruple is still on. It's great, isn't it? The 9th of April, 6 weeks left of the season, and we can still realistically do it. Everybody, obviously, go over, subscribe to Dave's LFC chats. Dave, when are you on next? Have you any content on today tomorrow?
I might even go live tonight. I was live Thursday night. I do little snippets. I do little shorts. Those shorts are great. You know, you can even do the shorts in winter. But think about it. But, look, there's got to be a lot of content. I mean, we don't even have time. I mean, I don't know where the Coppish lads get the bloody time. They're live every night for 15 hours. How the hell do we go live so much? My God, that's crazy. But look, guys, enjoy it, because as I say, this doesn't come around. We've been lucky. We've been on a roller coaster, as Ronan Keaton says. LFC's a roller coaster, just go ride it all night long. So enjoy it. Whatever happens, enjoy it, baby. 50 top.
Yes,
No,
Drifty, when are you on
appreciate
next?
that,
I know
man.
you're on the watch along tomorrow. You've no content today, do you not? Would have been a Saturday.
Yeah, you know, got to take one day off, you know.
Yeah,
Although
yeah.
I'm on with Ryan yeah, I'm on with Ryan tonight as well. So technically, it's not a day off, but yeah, from Coppish, yeah, we took the day off, you know.
Yeah, I seen a video a while ago, came across on YouTube, 5 hours and something. Coppish had done a live recording for it. Says, how would I get the time to even go through that? But fair play to you, Drifty, is doing unbelievable stuff, regular, consistent content with Matt and with Callum, and you have unbelievable views, and it's great, and it's great to see us growing. And best of luck
Yeah,
with
I appreciate that,
the
man. No, seriously, the support is, you know, it's really appreciated. It sounds cheesy, but like we
yeah.
actually really do appreciate every single one of you guys. So thanks, man.
Appreciate it, Drifty. Yeah, we'll get in our viewers tomorrow after the game. Hopefully, we're all celebrating, sending our videos. It's just finding time. I suppose you're full time, you've loads on your job. You know, it's from me and anyway. But some people say if to find the time, so that's better commitment. But lads, I appreciate you coming on today, Dave, and Aled as well. I know Aled to go early, but I really appreciate him coming on. Everyone go over as well and subscribe to Aled's channel, Clock Talk TV. He's loads subscribed and he's doing great. Dave, appreciate coming on, mate. Thanks very much. And Drifty as well from Coppish. Everybody, thank you for tuning in, leaving the comments, and hopefully this time tomorrow we'll be obviously all geared up for kickoff. But in 30 hours' time, we'll be all celebrating a huge Liverpool win. Tomorrow is one of the biggest ever Premier League games, and it's great to see the two elite going toe to toe in what will be a true encounter, no doubt. Take care, all, and God bless.
Cheers, lads.
Peace.
Cheers.